the more I think about the RNC in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee, literally 2 days after President Trump was shot, the more I realize what a great job Ron Johnson and his state did. So, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Senator, good morning. How are you?
Morning, sir. I'm doing great. Hope you are, too.
I'm doing great. I'm sorry what the Yankees did to your Milwaukee Brewer baseball team this weekend. I'm sorry about that.
Don't rub it in.
Are you even paying attention to, Ron? I know you're a big sports fan about Aaron Rodgers, that he may end up with Pittsburgh, with the Steelers. Do people in Wisconsin even care?
Now, once we leave Green Bay Packers, we really don't care much about them.
That's it. You're done. So Favre went to the Jets. Rodgers went to the Jets. They're dead to you. Let me get to a guy that's alive and well to you. That's Elon Musk. And he was in talking about Rodgers and Favre, Green Bay yesterday, and doling out $1 million to potential voters. You got a huge, and I mean huge, Supreme Court election coming up tomorrow. Tell me about Musk. Tell me about the Attorney General trying to shut him down. And more importantly, how big is this election, not just for Wisconsin, but for the country coming up tomorrow?
Well, first, it's a huge election. It's really what President Trump is battling, where the courts have overstepped their constitutional authority. Here in Wisconsin, we have a Supreme Court that turned to the left 2 years ago. So they redistricted our state assembly and state senate seats, and our majority shrank. If they maintain a liberal majority, they will redistrict our congressional seats. We'll probably lose a couple Republican seats. We can lose the majority, and President Trump will not be able to govern effectively for the final 2 years of his term. They'll overturn voter ID. They'll probably overturn any election integrity measure we have here in Wisconsin. We may take Wisconsin out of play as a battleground state. So it has huge implications nationally, as well as overturn Act 10, costing Wisconsin taxpayers hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars over the decades. So it's a huge election. Elon Musk understands how important it is. He's doing everything he can. God bless him. Not only on Doge, but specifically helping Brad Schimmel, our wonderful candidate. But Elon was up here last night, put on a town hall for all the people who had signed his petition to against activist judges like Brad Schimmel's opponent, and gave away 2 checks of $1 million. It's quite the sight to see. But said even more importantly, he stood up on stage for a long time answering question after question, and they were good questions, and they were thoughtful answers, and they were just common sense. I don't think people realize, first of all, Elon Musk is brilliant, right? Probably one of the most accomplished and brilliant human beings ever to walk the face of the earth. He's lending that brilliance, his accomplishments, to the federal government to try and root out the waste and abuse that the left is screaming because of it. But what people don't understand about him, he's got such innate common sense, and it just comes through. It was just fun to listen to him answer questions from all across the board. Nothing was off the table. So it was quite the event.
Yeah, before I get to your plan to help with the spending issue, I was surprised to see him. He's a brilliant guy, and he does care. Clearly, he cares about this country. He cares about the future of the country. But it's one thing to head Doge and to sit in the Oval Office with President Trump. It's another to host a town hall in Green Bay, Wisconsin, about the Wisconsin Supreme Court. But that does go to show you, along with $100 million spent, how important this election is, that Musk took it upon himself, I'd imagine, just to be there.
And people don't realize the sacrifice he's made now. He's a billionaire. I mean, tens of thousands of death threats. His Tesla stock has halved in value. So it's not like he's making money off of doing this. I mean, he's now reviled by the left. They're firebombing. They're setting his Tesla cars on fire. They're attacking his dealerships. He's his own personal sacrifice, because he loves his country. He realized this really is the last best hope. So God bless Elon Musk. I could not be more thankful that he's doing what he's doing, and he's paying a very heavy price.
Agreed. And this is why, Ron, when I go back to your TV interview with Maria yesterday, this is the great senator from the state of Wisconsin, Ron Johnson. The first thing you said to Maria was how brilliant Elon Musk is, what a great job he's doing with Doge. And I guess he's kind of inspired you and others. Not that you needed the inspiration, but the spending issue. I mean, it is brutal. And you talked about, well, wait a second. All we have to do is go back to the pre-pandemic days, right? 2019 under Donald Trump, where it was light years better than it is now. So to fix what has now become a $37 trillion debt, we need to get back to 2019 pre-pandemic. You did say that, Maria, but how easy is that going to be to do?
Well, it should be incredibly easy. In the business world, it would be. I mean, if I told my managers, yeah, you can increase your budget based on the number of customers you're serving and the inflation rate, go ahead and do it. But if I come back 6 years later and you increase your budget 10% higher than that, I'd say, what are you doing? If I didn't fire him, I'd say, cut it back 10%. That's literally all we have to do. So what I've done is I've laid out three options. We'll talk about President Trump's 2019 outlays, which were $4.4 trillion. This year we're spending $7.3 trillion. If you spend what we spend on Social Security and Medicare and interest, take those off the table. You can even take Medicaid off the table. Just spend whatever we need to spend there. But all other outlays from 2009, increase it by number of people that our population is growing by, and inflation, we'd be spending 6.5. That's $770 billion less than we're spending today. And the House budget resolution, they're going to cut $200 billion at most. So it's a measly offering. So again, this shouldn't be hard. This is just common sense. Business people do it all the time. This would be child's play in the private sector. But in government, again, government is all about taking more of your money, borrowing, mortgaging your children's future, and spending money on just the most grotesque things that Elon Musk and his Doge effort are uncovering.
Yeah, $1 trillion a year. A couple of minutes, I'll let you run, Ron. You talk about saving $800 billion with the plan you're talking about, which is about 4 times as much as you'll save with this House bill. And when I hear that, what that says to me, Ron, is that even though it's gotten through the House, this latest bill, it's going to be very, very difficult to pass it through the Senate because it just doesn't do enough. Is that a fair assumption?
I think that's what Leader Thune and President Trump are going to find out probably this week. It'll come to a head. And listen, I want Leader Thune. I want President Trump. I want Speaker Johnson. I want America to succeed. We have to do this. But this is our only moment. This is a once-in-a-lifetime moment to reset spending at a reasonable pre-pandemic level. I mean, nobody can justify going from 4.4 to $7.3 trillion. That's a 63% increase while our population has grown 2.6%. There's no justification for that. And nobody's refuting what I'm saying. They're just going, well, it's hard. They don't want to cut anything. It's not cutting. It's resetting to a reasonable baseline. No family, if they had an illness and they had to borrow $50,000 to pay medical bills, if that family member got well, nobody would keep borrowing $50,000 and keep spending at that level. But that's exactly what we're doing at the federal level. It has to stop.
Ron, it's great to have you, pal. I think your plan is great. I think it's a forward-thinking plan. From listening to you this morning with me and watching with Maria yesterday, it sounds like something that's not going to be all that difficult to do, but something that needs to be done. So I wish you the best of luck, and keep stopping by here to tell us how things are going. Senator Ron Johnson, thank you so much.
Stay well.
You too. There he is, the great senator from the state of Wisconsin, Ron Johnson. We'll take a short break. When we get back, I mentioned to Ron, I'm sorry that our Yankees, even though I'm a diehard Met fan, our Yankees bludgeoned his Milwaukee Brewers, but they did. We'll talk to all-time New York Met and New York Yankee great Darryl Strawberry.